All right, good morning, everybody. And today is Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021, and you're watching the Crypto Sonar channel. We're going to go ahead and get started. And I just want to say good morning. Make sure you have your coffee and or your favorite beverage with you. Water is always good. And what we're going to start off with is we're going to start off with an overview as far as what is going on in the markets. So first up, let's get this screen over to the today and let's look at the futures. We've got about 23 minutes before the market opens. And the Dow Jones is setting the open up just a little tad higher, just a little bit. It's up 29 right now. And these are the E-mini Dow Jones. So these are the Dow Jones futures. These are basically what's going to happen in the market as far as what's going on. And then what we have here on the bottom, on the screen on the bottom, is we have the S&P 500, the SPY. Again, that's not open yet. Volatility index not open yet, but we'll take a look at what's going on there. So the S&P 500 is looking to open down a little bit. And let's take a look at some of our pre-market movers. 1 second here. There is, oops. Okay, so some of the things we want to take a look at, we want to take a look at Rocket. Rocket was something that went up big time yesterday. If you're holding that overnight, I've got some not so great news for you. It did open up a little lower in the pre-market, and so it's looking down about 5 points or so to 36.55 is where it's trading at right now. So again, what you're looking at on the screen is, and I'll make this a little bit smaller, I'll take it out to the 5-minute chart interval, whereas over here these intervals are 30 seconds. Over here we basically have 5 minutes, and I can choose anything from 1 second all the way up to weekly, monthlies, and anywhere in between. I can program it using the charting software that I use. So let's take a quick look at yesterday. Again, yesterday was something that we saw it running up pretty much from right here, which is the 21st. So last week, so since the 21st, it was at $20.70. Huge run up yesterday, up to $43 or so, and that's its 52-week high. Now dropping back down to 36 or so, and we'll see where it opens up. So that's one of the other ones. Some of the other movers, as far as news goes, we have, let's see here, Tesla. And on Tesla, we had UBS was out. They had a note, talking about EV makers, etc. And so Tesla is doing pretty good. Let's see here. They doubled their price target up to $730. Again, we're at $686 right now, is where it closed at yesterday. But that's an interesting as well. Quick look at the cryptos, and let's take a good look at. Oops, let me go back down to watch and go to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, this is something that the market is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we had a nice run up from yesterday with Bitcoin. So that's doing pretty well. So I do hold some Bitcoin. And then the other one is Ethereum, and Ethereum is also open 24/7. Again, these trade around the world every single day. They do not take a break. So you could literally open up an account with someone. I happen to use Coinbase. I'll have some links down below in other places on my channel, Discord, etc., where you can sign up. But I use Coinbase in the US. If you're outside the US, you might want to look at Binance. They're a big exchange. Binance does operate in the US as well under Binance.us, I believe. But there's some states that they're not allowed in. I think they're not allowed in Washington State. I believe New York. I don't think they're allowed in New York either. So it all depends on what you're looking at. Let's take a look at some of the other movers on the chip stocks and tech stocks. So Microsoft is looking to open down about $1. AMD is looking to open up down about 3 cents right now in the pre-market. Again, it had a little bit of a run up to 84.98 or so in the pre-market. Then it dropped down in the pre-market, being down quite a bit. About $1 or so. Now it's jumping back up a little bit. Intel is another one that it is down 59 cents. And our other chippy we watch, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is looking to open up a little bit, 75 cents for them. So that could be good, as I do own some NVIDIA. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at some other movers on here. Some of the cannabis stocks, sports stocks. DraftKings. We can take a look at DraftKings. DraftKings is having a big up in the market. Let's see if there's any news on them. So they're up $4.82, $7 pre-market. And let's see, they introduced first of a kind app integration. Dish Network and DraftKings announced first. Here, I'll put this up here. Introduced first of its kind app integration. So Dish Network, Sportsbook, and daily fantasy apps integrated in Dish TV's Hopper platform. Agreement to expand across Dish's portfolio of brands, including Sling TV and Boost Mobile. So they're going to push these things. And again, DraftKings is one of those another stocks that companies that some states don't allow them still to do your betting on there, but a lot of states do allow them to do that. So they've had a huge run as far as where they've come from and where they're at. So let's take a look at the weekly, and you'll see just a huge upside since April of 2020 from $12.87 all the way up to $68.58, breaking new highs, it's already at an all-time high today as soon as the bell rings in 17 minutes here. So DraftKings is one to keep your eye on today. KMPH is a pharmaceutical stock, and I was in that for a little bit, and I looks like I missed the run up on this one. Let's go to the 5 minutes. Sorry about that. And a huge upswing today. They got news coming out. I know I saw an alert on them. Here we go. ChemPharm says FDA approves new drug application for ADHD treatment. Astaris, I guess is how you pronounce that. Usually I'm pretty good at pronouncing names, but Astaris, application for ADHD treatment, shares surge pre-bell. Said late Tuesday with the U.S. FDA has approved the new application for Astaris, which is intended as a once-a-day treatment for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder in patients aged 6 years and older. So there you go. So a little bit of news out on them. Be careful if you trade this one. It looks like it peaked out at 21.21, back down into the 16 range on news pre-market. Usually what happens on this is because it ripped, the pre-market opens up at 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. So 1 o'clock in the morning Pacific. You can start trading if your broker allows you. You can also do it from 1 to 5 p.m. 4 to 9 p.m. Eastern time if you want to trade after the market closes, if your broker or your firm that you trade allows you to do so. So KMPH expecting a big run probably as soon as the bell rings in 15 minutes, and so that's going to be one that we're going to keep an eye on. I'm going to go ahead and add it. KMPH, MPH, and we've got that added to our list here. I don't think I added Rocket before. There we go. We got Rocket added, symbol. Okay. All right. So again, KMPH is something that it could be interesting to watch throughout the day. So Bitcoin. Oopsie. What's that doing over there? Let me get that back down here to this screen. Liberty. Leave it. Lay down. My dog. She already had her breakfast. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at what else is going on here in the markets. The big ones, of course, as far as the meme stocks go in Reddit, we got GameStop. GameStop is looking to open up 77 cents higher. It's trading 77 cents higher in the pre-market. And let's see, I don't think there's any news on that other than what's going on. Rocket lower. Here's an update from Newswire. And they're saying shares trade flat early Wednesday while the rest of the Wall Street stocks were mostly trading in positive territory, despite most indexes trading lower after Tuesday's rally. So again, there was a little bit of a rally yesterday. And so we'll take a look, what they're calling the meme stocks, AMC, BlackBerry. Now they're adding American Airlines to it. Traded slightly higher, and Palantir, it's a big favorite, was up 3%. Nokia was flat. Rocket, which jumped almost 72%, was down 6% in pre-market trading. And they're saying that they added a few favorites. So look, when they're saying they're adding a few favorites to Wall Street bets, they're not saying that this group out there on a website, on the internet, is saying, hey, this is the next one, we choose this and we're going to make it run. Doesn't work like that. They are a piece of the pie, but they are not necessarily the biggest piece of the pie. But with that said, the caveat, there are a lot of people taking care that trade momentum in this market and take a look at opportunities. And if they see those opportunities, they may want to take a chance and roll into something while the buzz is doing that. So we'll integrate a little bit more of that into the channel. I know that there's some websites out there. Some of them are starting to pay for it, or in terms of where you can purchase the most popular stocks that are being talked about on Reddit. It will rank them, and you can purchase their ranking. I'm pretty sure there's a free version out there. It's probably on Reddit as part of their daily threads. I'm not sure, so maybe we'll take a look at that in between programs. So you're with us for the first time, and if you like the stream, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that follow, and if you have any questions, feel free to put those down into the chat. And since we're live, we'll answer them if we're able to, market conditions withstanding. So GameStop again, GameStop is looking to open up 82 cents higher off of being down $2.22 yesterday. The other ones that are talking about Palantir again is a U.S. software company. They do a lot of DoD, Department of Defense work, and on the software side, they're looking to trade up. They're up 41 cents in the pre-market right now. And then we also have Rocket. Let me put that back up where it belongs. There we go. Rocket is trading down 13%. So if you did not sell out yesterday, or you did not sell out in a pre-market jump up to $48, be careful with this one. It looks like it's got some good support at this 36 level. Let me zoom in a little bit here. And yeah, so it's forming a little bit here. Let's just call that right there. So that's not bad. And might be even a little. Get that handle down here a little bit more. There we go. So again, that might be something, if it forms a good base, if you want to look in getting into a little bit of a day trade or momentum. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is strictly for education and entertainment purposes. Do not do what I do. If you do, you will probably lose 100% of your money. So please be careful out there, folks. This is not a game. This is people's money that you're playing with, yours, your futures, but it's something you need to be in. Up or down, you can make profits both ways. Okay, so Rocket looking down 5 points, and then the other one, AMC, and AMC is looking to open about 9 cents lower in the pre-market, down to 8.84. And what you'll see on here is that you're going to have the same news articles on AMC, on Rocket. They're just going to push them right to the limit there on everything there. So so that's available for you as well. And let's take a quick look here. I want to look at something. Why is okay. Okay, so let's see what else we got going on here. Some of the other movers in pre-market. KMPH was moving. They had some news out. Okay. All right. So again, KMPH looks like they're up about 69% in the pre-market. They're up $16 or so, or they're up to $16 from $9.43 is where it closed yesterday. So if you were in this, if you're planning to get into it, might be a momentum play. But anytime you buy something that's up 70% in the pre-market and expected to go further, carries an enormous amount of risk. So please be careful and trade accordingly if you can. Okay. All right. Let me take a quick look here at my setup. Make sure everything is good. Oops, there we go. Okay. Yeah, crypto markets are up pretty good today. Yay. All right. Let's see what's next here. So I think that covers the morning movers. Again, AMC, GME, Rocket. Rocket's looking to open up quite a bit higher, or quite a bit lower, actually. Down 10% in pre-market to 37.14. So we'll see what happens with that one. AMC. Right about where it closed at yesterday. So there was some talk yesterday. I was looking at doing some research last night, and they were talking about 3 large orders in the aftermarket yesterday. And the 3 large orders, and let me zoom this in a little bit for you, happened at 893, which is right here. 893 is this top of this wick handle, and they were for a total of about 14 million shares. Now, a lot of people online were like, "Oh, that's going to be a pre-market, or that's going to be an open buy on the open type of an order for tomorrow morning," which is today, right? I don't believe that to be true. I think that those orders are already executed in the aftermarket. The hedge funds, if they bought those shares, they probably already bought them. So we'll see what happens with this one on the open. You know, it's gapping up ever so slightly here as we get closer to open off this bottom. You do have a little bit of a downtrend in the pre-market, but again, the volume is going to be so light compared to what we normally see. So, you know, this is regular volume down here. This is pre-market volume over here. Hey, everybody, what are you doing? Lay down. What? What do you want? My dog wants attention. All right. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else here before we get ready to rock and roll here. Again, we've got 5 minutes left before the market opens. Again, Rocket, big mover yesterday. Don't know what we'll see for today. The trend says that even in the post-market yesterday, it was going down. Gapped up immediately on the pre-market, and that could have been orders in Europe because the big run was taking place while the Europe markets were closed yesterday. So they may have participated in their own markets, driving this price back up during our pre-market, which started at 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. So, you know, almost 5 hours ago. But now we're looking at it coming back down, but where it's coming back down to is a support level around 36 or so. And so it's up slightly above that just prior to the open here. It's but it's still down $4.30 compared to yesterday's close. Pardon me. So yesterday's close was up here, gapped down a little bit, huge run up as pre-market opened in the U.S. Could be a reflection of Europe trading between the time difference between yesterday's post-market and today's pre-market, and then it's running back down here. Slight, ever so slight bounce into the 37 range. So that 36 support level is going to be one to watch out for and see where it goes during the day. Okay, let's take a look at the other one I don't have in here. Let's Tesla, and then we'll review the EV makers, which are big movers as well usually. Okay, so Tesla. Samsung are the EV world, Tesla or VW. European shares rise on autos. Number of Germany's electric vehicle charge points rise 10% since December. That's a big move for Germany. Let's see here. When asked if, here we go. Brief on Elon Musk. When asked if public full self-driving to come out in Q2, says sounds about right tweet. So Musk, when asked if public full self-driving to come out in Q2, says sounds about right, but we want to be very careful with this transition period. So again, they're going full all-out autonomous driving, and if you remember what happened with their batteries, they had some initial problems with their batteries, and people using autopilot, not paying attention, thinking the car is doing everything, and then they end up getting into head-on collisions, or the car didn't stop at stoplights, or didn't see the oncoming traffic. Those are from a few years ago, so they've gotten a lot better since then. Of course, with any new technology, you're going to have, things that go wrong with it. But again, it's a huge company, and so they're up a little bit in pre-market, up $1.50 or so, as we get ready for the opening bell. Let's see here if there's anything else I need on any top news. Jobless aid, direct checks in play as the Senate nears vote. So the Senate's getting ready to vote on the COVID-19 aid bill. I don't know if that's going to happen today or not. If we do see a pop-up in the market, we'll watch over here as far as the S&P to go whoop and the volatility index to go down. So again, these two screens over here, you have the S&P 500, which is set to open here shortly in another 2 minutes, and you have the VIX, which is the volatility index, and we'll see what goes on. And that's kind of gives you a live look at the overall market sentiment. And then, of course, we can take a look at our FinViz here on a heat map. And it's not showing anything as far as being open just yet. So we'll take a look at that. All right, so let's see if there's any other news here. U.S. House Democrats urge President Biden to revert to Obama-era Cuba détente. So maybe they're looking to open that back up again. Again, yesterday we had some news on some new Russian sanctions, but they're mostly on people. And usually sanctions on people make a short news story, bloop, pops up, and then it disappears because nobody seems to care. Here we go, markets are open. And let's take a look at where we're at. So Tesla right on the board, up $1.52 on the upswing. Rocket down $4.38. Palantir on the open is up 50 cents. We have, we'll just go up here. NVIDIA up 64 cents. KMPH, big mover, showing up $5.81, but coming off the high in the pre-market of $101, or not $101, sorry, $20. $21.29 in the pre-market. I'm looking over here at my percentage change difference instead of stock price. So $15.74, up $6.10, so up 64 cents or 64% over yesterday. Intel trading down 23 cents. GameStop up $3, so a little bit of a pop here on GameStop. That's going to be one to watch here. A little valley here. Looks like there was some trying to form support down here at $23, $24 or so. And you'll hear my dog squeaking in the background. That's her play toy. We let her go with that. I think it's hilarious. And then we have AMD is down 37 cents on the open. And AMC is up 11 cents. So we're going to move this one over to the 30-second chart so we get a little bit more view of the sentiment in the market and what's going on. Bitcoin you won't see really, you'll see a small jump when the U.S. markets open using Bitcoin or Ethereum, and that's mainly, I think, because the market on open orders for hedge funds, people that bought in pre-trading, that they need to purchase more of those assets that they hold in custody, etc. So that's why you have a jump here. But Ethereum, nice move off 1600. Again, I had this one pegged, and I had basically been looking at 1450 as a line of. So we can go back out to the daily here. I thought I saw some really good support at 1450, and kind of where was that? Where are we at? Right here. So right here, this support from from a couple weeks. So looking at the 21st or so, it looks like it's holding that line of 1450. So if you're if it were to pull back again, what the charts are saying on a technical analysis is, hey, if it does pull back, 1450 is probably a decent resistant level, and so that might be something, or I'm sorry, support level. And as far as resistance, you're going to have resistance back up here in this $2,000 range, which it hit back in early February and the second week or so of February. So Bitcoin and Ethereum going pretty well there. AMC is up 15 cents. KMPH, let's take a look at that. There we go. Oh, back to 30 seconds, sorry. And again, it ripped. So if you did get in on the open, probably would have been a decent play for you. Went from $15 and ripped $2 right off the open there. And so that's probably going to be a good 12% more. Let's say you bought it here on this wick here. You're already up 7%. So good for you. We'll see what happens with it, but up 80%. Again, very risky, but it did jump up pretty good there on the open, and so that might be a little bit of a runner. It does definitely have some momentum in there, so the opportunity is there. So Nvidia down 43 cents. Again, that took a big beating yesterday, down quite a bit. Oshkosh and Workhorse. Oshkosh still settling in the $108 range. Workhorse news last week. 1604. The rumor was that there was a Democratic senator that was against the U.S. Post Office buying their new electric vehicles from Workhorse and going with Oshkosh instead. And so they basically said that they would do whatever they could to make sure Oshkosh got the contract instead of Workhorse. Could that have just been, just something that they're hoping that they can do that, or they think they can do that? But Oshkosh has been supplying those vehicles for a long time, so he definitely got the opportunity there. Let's take a quick look at the precious metals markets. You have silver down 56 cents right now. Platinum down $20 or so to $11.84, and palladium is also down. So palladium's down 12, so 0.5%. Platinum is down 1.65%, about $20, and then silver is down 57 cents, so about 2% there. So that's what's going on with those. Let's take a look at Rocket, and here we go. And Rocket is down $5.21. So again, yeah. So initial run up, these are buy on open orders probably, and people saying, "Oh, here we go, it's going to run again, it's going to run again, it's going to run again," and everybody else saying, "No, it's not." So down $5.21 off the close yesterday. It did rip a little bit at the beginning, just a small pop here. But again, since that open, if you said, "Hey, it's running, I'm going to buy it up here," you are already down 6.49%. So something you probably want to be careful. All right. Should we let the dog say hello? Hey, come here. Come here. Oh, there she is. Say hello to the camera. Okay, I know. What's this? Look. Look over here. I know. Good morning. Dr. Liberty, she's awesome. What's that? Look. What's going on? What is that? What is all that? Look right here. Look right here. Look up. Look up. Say hello. Shake. Shake. I want to shake while you're sitting up here. Too scary. Okay, down. All right. That's your dog update. She's good. She's happy. She's fed. And she's ready to go. Okay, so in case you're wondering, we're out here on the West Coast. So it is 6:37 in the morning here. We've been streaming now for about 30 minutes or so. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the chat. Let me get a message here. So. Okay, and let me put this one up here. Okay, and let me drop this. Where is it? Right here. I think we have wood wrap on here. There we go. All right, so we let her squeak during the show. It lets me know where she is, and then she can let me know if she's got to go O-U-T or she needs some W-A-T-E-R. And I don't know why I'm spelling words, but pretty much if you tell her some words, she knows words. Dogs can recognize words. But she's awesome. She's my quarantine dog. I got her, almost had her a year now. And when I got her, she didn't have really any training at all, other than occasionally going to the bathroom outside. If you watched her, but she had to be trained to go to the bathroom outside. She had to be trained to find the door and let us know when she had to go. Not aggressive at all, not an aggressive bone in her little body. She's just an awesome dog, and not food aggressive at all. From the very beginning, that part they did right. So I got her when she was about 8-9 months old, so she did have all of her shots and everything else like that. Fun things we had is I cut her own nails, so that's always a fun experience. But she's an awesome dog. Okay, all right, let's get back to the market, see where we're at here. So again, if you're looking at the S&P, S&P is down 87, and let's see the rest of them here. Hold on here. So right now we have the Dow is up 34.49, the S&P 500 is down 7.79, and the NASDAQ Composite is down 54. So as you'll see, the volatility index, now when the volatility index goes up a little bit like here, that's usually when we see a little bit of the market turn, where the market will head south a little bit. And so these are inverse related. So the VIX, symbol VIX, and the S&P, I just like using the SPY because it's open and it's available, and it's super easy to look at the numbers of what's going on. And then you can see volume. So I'll look at the volume spikes on the SPY to tell me, okay, what are people looking at, what are they doing, and where's the overall sentiment in the market taking us for the day. Okay. All right, so let's take a look and let's see what's up on the day here on our little charts. KMPH, again, looks like it's running pretty good here. Up 82%, pulling back just a little bit now. There you go. There's a big candle there coming back down here. So again, see, that'll make a 5% move in less than 30 seconds here. This is a 30-second chart. So in 30 seconds on the down, made a 6.5% move, okay? And it's heading lower. And there we go. And there's the rip down. So coming back into reality now, reality for a stock like this that moved huge in the pre-market based on news on their new ADHD drug, which was Asterisk, or what's it called here? Let's see here. There it is. Asterisk. Asterisk. I'm pretty sure that Z is probably silent. But the FDA approved a new drug application for ADHD treatment. So that basically meant that it went up huge on the in the pre-market, and so opened up quite a bit higher. So got up to as high as $22, and then pulled back again in the last 52 weeks. Today's range, it got as high as $18.15. I don't know. Let's see when it hit that $22 in the last year. Looks like back here in November. So there's probably some news in November about them, what they were doing. So you do have a good resistance level up here in the $16 range. These are wicks, so these are short term a little bit, but on the weekly. But let's look at the dailies and let's see what we have here. Now it's going to be trading well above its 50 and 200 day moving average, and well above the VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price as well. So you probably have a little bit of support here. This probably the top of this one now, $15 range. So we'll see what happens with this one throughout the day. But it on a little bit of a pullback now, still a little higher than what it opened at. So still up 71%, but that thing ripped all the way up to 18.15. So 18.15 is where it topped out on the day, and you can already see that this thing averaged shares 3.14 million shares per day, and it's already traded 22 million shares. So that's what's interesting there. Some of the other movers that we're looking at, you got Palantir. Palantir is up 2 cents on the day. Looks like, again, it opened up at the top and then dropped down. You got volatility going up. Let's see if there's any, I don't think there's any major news. UK to raise corporation tax to 25% from 19%. Hike to come in from 2023. That's what's going on over in Europe. That could be causing a sell-off, and that was just released 3 minutes ago, and it kind of runs in. This is a 30-second chart. So this was 34. That came out at 41. So that could be what's causing a rip a little bit to the downside on the markets here. But the Dow is still up on the day. Dow is up $40. The S&P 500 is down 1284, and the NASDAQ Composite is down 100. And so looks like another red day is in store. But if the Senate votes on that bill and they get the COVID-19, that could cause things to go up a little bit. But you know, we'll see what happens there. Okay, 1 second here. There we go. All right, taking a look at the crypto markets again. Again, you got Bitcoin up above 50,000 again, and again, it looks like it's, you know, if we go to the 1 hour chart here, you can say, well, where's its last support level here? Really good support around this 49,000 level over the last couple days here this week. So it busting back out above 50, had an all-time high of 58,000, I think. Yeah, 58,000. So that's going pretty well. Ethereum is also running up pretty good. Yeah, GameStop is up $3 to, or 2.7%. Go back to the 30-second chart. VIX, again, volatility index. USO, which is US oil, is up nicely, 84 cents. That's a good one. That's one that I hold personally in my long-term account. So oil going up $1 a barrel or so. So that's gonna send US oil up as well. And next, Palantir. Palantir is up 13 cents. Cinemark going along with AMC. So Cinemark is up 8 cents, 23.96. AMC is down 11 cents. You have Tesla. Go back here. So in the chip stocks, AMD down 46 cents. Microsoft 260. Nvidia down another $7. Boy, this one's really getting hammered lately. And that's one, if you take a look at 30-minute chart here, just when they reported earnings, ever since they reported earnings, big downside, big time downside. So not looking really good for Nvidia or probably the chip stocks in general. Intel is up 10 cents though. Okay. KMPH, again, that's pharmaceutical. They had news come out. So holding that $16 level. Again, we saw a little bit of support there during the pre-market in the $16 range, and it seems to be holding that. So certainly some good news there. Okay. And the SPY is just a quick look at the indexes here. Oh, it does that. All right, so we have the Dow Jones again. The Dow is these charts. You have the Dow Jones. Dow is up 53.6. You have the S&P 500 is down 1, and you have the Nasdaq is down 2.26%. So looks like definitely a down day forming for the market again. Unless, like I said, unless we get some more news on the next version of stimulus, probably going to see a little bit of volatility here and some ups and downs in the market. So we'll see what happens there. Let's see if there's any top news. So yeah, it's the same thing. The Senate is nearing the vote on the COVID-19 aid bill. U.S. private payrolls miss expectations in February. Analysis: the Fed may need more than words in the next battle with the markets. Okay. ExxonMobil pitches investors on dividend growth, debt reduction. Let's see here. GM extends vehicle production cuts due to semiconductor chips shortage. So again, the chips shortage in the semiconductor industry is causing a lot of, whoops, wrong symbol there, GM. There we go. Down 12 cents, so just it's pretty much just down with the rest of the market here. So not anything withstanding, but a little bit of news on them as they extend vehicle production cuts due to semiconductor chip shortage. So we'll see. Wall Street opens lower as private jobs data disappoints, but the Dow is still up 94 points. Nasdaq come back just a little bit, down only 67 now, and the S&P down only 4. So it looks like things are starting to turn a little bit towards a positive, and you can see that on the bottom of the charts here. Again, inverse relationship. You got the VIX, which is the volatility index. So I call this the fear factor chart. And so as bad news comes into a market, this will shift down. It's a lag a little bit on the market. So as it drops a little bit, you can see the S&P 500 creep back up. So if we take a look at the heat map, again, this is the heat map where it basically shows all all the different sectors in the market and what's going on with them. And I think, there we go. So you've got Microsoft in the green, or in the red. Sorry, Google, Facebook is up today. Tesla's up 0.43%. You look at the chip makers in the semiconductors. You got Nvidia down, Intel down, Qualcomm down, Avgo, TXN, Texas Instruments, AMD is up a little bit. Micron Technologies is up a little bit. Xilinx, again, Xilinx is being purchased by AMD. And so you have those there. Let's take a look at the EV makers and see what's going on with those. Where are you at here? EV makers. And let's take a look at the movers. So most of them are up to the plus side. XPEV, Li Auto, NIO, Tesla. Let's take a look at these individually. So XPeng is up 95, up almost 3%. Li Auto is up 2.82%. NIO, all three of these are Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers. So they're selling electric cars in China. And some of these are startups over the last couple of years or so. And they're calling some of them, they were saying NIO is the Tesla of China or something like that. But Li Auto has actually been a really, really good one. But again, I think that if Trump would have been elected or re-elected, that you could have seen pressure on these from the standpoint of sanctions on China. I think those are off the table, and if anything, that market, the sanctions that were on there, or the tariffs, I should say, pardon me, the tariffs that you do see on some of the China stocks might actually be pulled back under the current Biden administration. So Tesla up 1.7%, Baidu up 2.61%. Alibaba's up a little bit. Okay, and some other ones. Plug, again, battery manufacturers. Plug is down a little bit. Solo's down a little bit. Blink Charging, Blink is up a little bit. It's up 17 cents, which is almost 0.5%. Fuel Cell, which had been on a huge run. That should actually be. And then Workhorse is down as well. Those are the EV makers. And then also in other stocks to keep an eye on, you also have Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer and Moderna, the three with the approved vaccines for the U.S. Look, there's other vaccines that are also available around the world, depending on the countries that they are from. So Johnson & Johnson, a slight pullback here if we take a look at Pfizer. Pfizer's up 34 cents, so about 1% there. And I don't think more than how a changing virus is reshaping scientists' views on COVID. Not a lot of news there. Pfizer, and then Moderna. And Moderna is down right about 3%. So there you go. Oh, there's a new story here. Okay, take a look at these. Ford turned a little bit, down 14 cents. GameStop up another $1.12 to $119.60. AMC down 7 cents. And our buddies Rocket down 8.25. So Rocket's down almost 20% today. So again, you had that huge run up. So you're going to see a lot of profit taking. And anytime you have a stock that goes up that high, you're going to see people take profits on it. KMPH still up 78%. Dropped off that high of 18.15 and hasn't come back to that. Is it consolidating a little here? Again, we talked earlier about that 16-ish dollar range for a support level. But again, you're just guessing at this point. From technical analysis, yeah, told you to sell down there, should have sold. Told you to buy down there, should have bought. So let's watch this for a little bit here and see what the indicators tell us. So right now, the indicators I have open say, hey, you should have bought it here around 16 or so. And if you did, you were up a good 7-8%. Okay, so there's your sell indicator. So it basically said buy down here and sell here, and then here's a sell-off. But again, if you're watching indicators like this, you'd have to be like Johnny on the spot, have your order loaded and ready to go to do those types of plays. That's a doji. Again, when you see a sell indicator like this, is it making lower lows and lower highs, right? So as you watch this live on here, and if you would have gotten that one and done what it told you to do, probably end up here. Probably down there. Again, see how quick that is? That's a 43-cent move on the buy-sell indicators. But again, 2.6%, right? So, 2.6%. Let's just say you threw $10,000 in that. That's $260 you would have made. Just like that. Just riding the momentum. So here's a turn. So now we're going to watch this candle here and see what happens on the second candle in 12 seconds here. And if this confirms it, you may, back to the upside above this wick here, you might get another buy signal. Let's see. Okay. So confirmation. So now you're watching, you'll see how this is a lagging indicator. So this is 30 seconds, so you have the countdown timer over here. As it pushes up, we're looking to see, there's your buy indicator, okay? And the reason that buy indicator just popped up on there is because as it hits this level here of these higher highs on this run from the last buy indicator, sold there, now it disappeared because it pulled back a little bit. So again, watching it, so it should pop back up again here if it breaks through this 1694 range. So let's just watch it and see what happens. So it removed the buy indicator from there because you had this little mini, can't really call it consolidation because you're only talking about a 3-minute time period. But again, if you're watching this and you bought it right there, you're already up. But it's got to break this area here. That 1690-ish. And if it doesn't, it may turn around and go back down again. And volume is huge on this stock today. You have on volume, you have 29 million shares traded, and on average, it usually trades about 3 million shares. So again, if you like the stream, do me a favor, hit that follow button on there. And if you have any questions, feel free to throw them into the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them for you on any stock, precious metal, any crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. So again, it's still showing here. And the reason why I took away this buy indicator from this candle here when it came up here is because it encountered resistance. And when a stock encounters resistance, it's undecided right now. You have a couple dojis right here on these two candles, which look like that, and then you have, so it doesn't know what it wants to do. But you're talking about a stock that doesn't know what it wants to do when it's already up 77% on the day. So that's why there's risk in buying these. If you bought it on the open, you're making money right now. If you bought it up here when it ripped all the way up to this $18 range, you're losing money right now. So remember, it had it put a buy signal right here, then it removed it on this third candle here. So it's still operating off of this last sell indicator over here. And what those are is those basically merge a couple different things, whether it's 50, 200-day moving average and the VWAP. And your 50, 200-day moving average or 50, 200 period moving averages are here. And that's only really good for a day play, because if you took it out to a daily, you're going to be way above it because of the spike in the stock. Even on the 5-minute, if we remove the external and take a look at yesterday, you got nothing but a huge up. And when we talk about external here, this is the aftermarket ones that are going on. So this yellowish area is the pre-market, the bluish area is the aftermarket from yesterday, and down here this is the end of the day open market hours. So the markets are open after they close. Sounds like a contradiction of terms, right? But they are open for aftermarket trading for 4 hours, and then they're open for quite a long time in the pre-market for 6.5 hours each day. So again, on a 5-minute chart, you have a buy indicator over here from really right on the open. That's at 35 minutes ago. So let's take a look at the 30-second. So you have the overall market sentiment has turned definitely towards the negative here. You have the Dow Jones is down 10 points, or I'm sorry, Dow Jones is still up around 8 points. The S&P is down about 19 points, and the NASDAQ composite is up 133. So now it came back in, and it looks like it removed that sell, gave it another buy here. So just in that quick second, we're on another buy. So you'd have to almost immediately react on those if you were using that indicator. And I've got all kinds of indicators over here. A lot of them are not turned on right now. I pay for a premium subscription to my trading software, and then I additionally pay within the software. I pay an additional $6 each month for live data versus delayed data. So an example of a delayed data feed, pardon me. This is an example of a delayed data feed, and on the delayed data feed over here, you have oil, but again, you're talking about a per barrel price. So this is a 15-minute delay approximately. So oil is up $1.02 per barrel today. So that means the ETF is up 81 cents. So 2%, up 2% on U.S. oil, and oil itself up 1.69%. So an ETF like a US oil is going to trade with the momentum of oil prices. So as oil prices go back up again, as inflation goes up, as the world opens up again based on the pandemic, you're gonna have some movers that go up. All right, let's check the crypto markets again, and we'll come back to KMPH. So Bitcoin is up quite a bit today. Call it $2,500. It's up 5%. So back above 50,000. Really nice run there. Ethereum. I personally picked up some more Ethereum at the 1450 level. And where I bought it at, I'll show you where I bought it at and how I came up with that. It was last week. It's in this range here. So last week I was looking at Ethereum and I was saying, okay, what's going on here? Let's take a look at levels. And so I had an order in for, I want to say 3 or 4 days at this level here. So I thought it was, hey, you know what? It looks like it's consolidating. It's consolidating back here. I'm going to put in a buy at 1450 because I feel pretty safe. I don't want to try and pick a bottom here. I don't want to pick a top of where it's at. So I put an order in at 1450, and then what happened was then it dropped, right? And it ran back up again. I was like, hey, I was right. And then it dropped again back to the 1465 or so. So it's confirming. So if you look at this drop, yeah, it dropped back down to 1300 or so, but it goes back to its prior support levels of this 1450 or so. So that 1450 is looking really, really good as far as the support level. What does that mean? Well, that means that if you are looking to purchase some more Ethereum, if you own any Ethereum, and again, Ethereum is another form of a cryptocurrency. So it is not Bitcoin, but if you go to ethereum.org, this is basically the developer site for Ethereum. So there's a whole bunch of people that are developing Ethereum. It was founded by Vitalik Buterin, and he basically founded it. And what it does is it allows a lot of other applications and companies to run on its blockchain, and that's called DeFi, decentralized finance. So you have Polkadots, Uniswaps, all kinds of Sushi Swap. Yep, there was actually a sushi coin called Sushi Swap, and I think I can pull that up over here. And let me just type in Sushi Swap, and let's take a look at that on. We'll look at the Tether one on Poloniex. So you want to talk about dangerous? It's at $18. It was at just in, call it here. It's only up 1,000% since December. Just 1,000%. So looking at if you from $1.61 up to $18.14. So decentralized finance is definitely something I'm interested in, and I'll probably follow that a little bit more closely. But I can't buy Sushi Swap in the state that I'm in on the exchange that I use. So unfortunately, I'm kind of locked out of that one unless I look at it at a different way of doing things. Okay, what is this? Where did that come from? Bug in the software. Okay, so again, Bitcoin is up $2,200 to up over 50,000. So where's Bitcoin going to go? If you take a look at Bitcoin and you say, okay, let me run back out to the let's take the 1 hour chart and say, okay, where's our support? Where's our resistance at? Well, you can definitely see a little bit of a down pattern here, right? And you can say, okay, well, is it forming this channel here? But then you say, okay, that's great up into 28th of February, last week, right? Or over the weekend. So you can say, okay, off of this bottom right here, if this is our new, if This is our new support level. How far back does it go? Well, to do that, you kind of got to look at the 4 hour and go out longer and say, why did it drop to that level? Well, it dropped to this level because the last time it tested that area is right over here before this last run up, which was back in the 10th of February. So what stocks will do, what cryptocurrencies will do, what ETFs will do, even mutual funds to a certain extent will do, is they will trail back to where their support levels used to be in most cases. However, at some point in an upgoing market, like the stock market over the last 30 years, eventually it will never come back down to that down market again, and it'll form new resistance levels. So the top of a market when it comes down is called resistance. The bottom of the market where it will bounce up from is called support levels. And you can see some of those if you take your time frame on your chart out a little further. So again, we had some really good support levels here. So you can say, okay, if I was to wait for Bitcoin to come back down again, what would it come down to? Well, it tells you right here, 44,000. So you could look at a drop of 44,000 and say, okay, how much as a percentage does it need to drop? Well, if you take a look at where it's at right now and take it down to this line here, you're talking about a 14% drop to its most recent lowest support level. So you can say, okay, what do I do then? Well, if you're on an exchange, remember, you do not have to buy or purchase one Bitcoin. You can buy a fraction of a coin. You can say, hey, I want to put $5,000 into it, and how much would $5,000 be if I bought into Bitcoin? Well, 5,000 into 50,656, you're talking about, a 0.10, right? 56, 60 times point. So if you wanted to do that, you could just say, hey, I want to buy $5,000 worth, or $2,000 worth, or $100 worth. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is strictly for entertainment and education purposes. But it's something I'm definitely invested in. I've been invested in cryptocurrencies since 2017. I had an old email. I went searching back into my emails, and I looked back and I found one email back in 2013, I think it was, where something was mentioning Bitcoin, and I vaguely remember way back then looking at it, but I never dug into it. I never took a look and said, hey, what's this Bitcoin thing? Let me type it in. Let me figure out what's this all about. I remember reading a headline. I probably at that point went, that's interesting. Next, and looked at the next thing. So you have missed opportunities in life. You have missed opportunities in the market, and a lot of what the channel is and the community that I'm forming is I want to teach people to participate. I want to teach people, like the ones that are going to watch my streams and get involved. It's not just going to be about markets. This stock's doing that stock's doing that. I want to teach and educate people, and by doing so, hopefully they'll improve their lives. They'll improve their financial situation. The very first thing you can do to help yourself, if you're not doing this already, you need to make yourself a monthly budget. You need to have a budget. You need to understand what your income is coming in every single month, and maybe it's stagnant. Maybe it's flatline like this, that's saying no matter what, if I don't change anything I'm doing going forward, my income is going to be here. I want to teach you to take it from there to here, to here, to here, to here, and basically have it go like this. What's that called? That's called passive, or it's called income streams. Some of those income streams can be passive. By passive, for example, if you put money into an account in your bank and you invest it and buy a certificate of deposit, right? Used to be big back in the day. And let's say you're going to make 0.5% on that. Okay. So think about that for a second. You have $10,000 and they're going to pay you 0.5% per year. $50. Okay. You buy Bitcoin right here and you sell it, whoops, where's it at? You buy it right here, and you sell it right here, you're getting 5%. So now that $10,000, well, we know it's about 50. Oops. So it's at 50,746. You made was it 0.0509? You made $509. Buy when it buys, sell when it tells you to sell, buy when you buy. So now let's look at the 30-second and let's see what it tells us. So let's watch this for a minute. And we're on a 30-second time frame over here. By the way, the overall markets, the Dow Jones is turned to the negative, is down $47. The Nasdaq is down 215. S&P is down 30. Okay, so we're on 30-second. Now it said to buy right here, right? I'll bet this one disappears as far as a buy because it's still operating on the sell indicator that was back over here around 10 minutes ago. But again, this is 30-second increments. Okay, so let's see if you can watch it, see if it pops up. And let's see our movers over here. Rocket down 20%, Workhorse down 6%, AMC down 4%, Ford down 1%, Nvidia down another 3% at 519. Wow, that one's really dropped off the map. GameStop down 2%, Palantir down 2%. What's up today? KMP8 70%. US Oil up 89%. Again, if you look at oil, oil is up 1.94%. US oil, the ETF, is up 2.6%. Okay, so we're watching Bitcoin here. And it's still hovering around this 50,600 level, which is actually good. It's up about 5%. Ethereum is up 7%. There you go. There's a nice little pop. So again, it's still operating under this buy signal here, right? So you say, well, it's going down, it's going down. I should sell, I should sell. Not so fast. Sometimes you got to wait and let things work. And the momentum and what the technical analysis tells you, and you can look at volume too. Like you could look and say, okay, from here over, from a volume standpoint, you got some buys, you got some buys. This is the MACD, okay. Then you have sell, and then you have sell volume, okay. But the buyers do not exceed the sellers. At this level right here, just in a 30-second play, the buyers do not exceed the amount of sellers. So what does that mean? Well, we'll find out here shortly. So on a nice 3-bar play here, just going to watch this for a little bit. So again, it's still operating under this buy signal that came over here. Now this buy signal would have popped up on this candle in most cases when it was confirmed by this candle, okay? But again, our sell volume is greater than our buy volume. The red bars down here are selling volume. The green bars are buying volume. See, look at the selling volume. Already exceeded on this candle. This whole sell volume here is greater than these, almost than these 3 full candles of the buy. So that could be telling in terms of it going back down below where this buy signal was, and there it is, just popped up right there. There's your sell indicator. So it's a combination of things that you're looking at if you're ever trading technical analysis and using indicators. And so, you know, looking at it from a longer time frame, you can say, well, just from today, from 8 o'clock in the morning, because I'm Pacific time, so from 5 o'clock in the morning Pacific down to now, you have a downtrend, right? It's been going down. So where is it going to stop at? Well, apparently at this $50,600 level. Okay, so that's kind of where that one's at. Ethereum picking up there again, and that's up 105, and you can do the same thing with this one. But the Bitcoin one, that's interesting, because what we just watched is we watched this buy indicator here, and then we watched this volume spike here, and you would think, oh, this is fantastic. Oh, gotta get in, momentum. It's going to go back up to here, up to the 50 200-day moving average. It's going to hit the VWAP. It's going to go back to that level. It may, but initially your buying volume on these three green candles, which signify an uptrend, your buying volume was less than your selling volume on lower candles right before that. What that should represent to you is a caution indicator. Should I buy at that point? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. This would have told you, yes, buy over here. But again, that's because the buy was greater than the selling volume over here. But you had this selling pressure, then you had these buys, but this buying volume on these three candles here did not exceed the selling pressure on the candles preceding it. And then more selling pressure came in, and that selling pressure was again greater than the buy. So here we go again. Quick spike up, but look at the volume. Okay? Look at the volume. So you get a buy indicator there, but a buy indicator on very low volume. So it needs to basically go above this green line before it can come back to this area here at 50,800 or so. So we watched this from 50,600 or so. And you could do this with any stock too. You can do this with Boeing. You can do this with NVIDIA. You can do it with GM, with Ford, with Tesla. It doesn't matter what the symbol is. When you're looking at technical analysis and indicators and moving averages, you can take a look and see what they're doing. Okay, so again, low volume though on the buy side. So is this a little bit of a ceiling here? Okay, there's a rip up. Increased volume, that's why you got that. So that's why that one, that wick, so somebody already bought it at 50,856 and immediately slammed back down again. But the volume is increasing, the MACD is increasing. So according to this buy signal here might be a valid indicator, but it needs to break this before it can go up to here. And looks like it's struggling to do that because you just had the sell volume on that last indicator is greater than the buy indicator, caused it to go up on those three candles. So let's see what happens. While it's doing that, you got the S&P starting to recover a little bit, but still down almost 0.5%. Overall, you have the Dow back up again 55 points, the NASDAQ down 169, and the S&P down 18 points. Okay, again, we're looking for confirmation on Bitcoin to go above this level right here. But again, very low volume though, very low buy volume. So, you got to be careful here because you have all this red over here, and these green ones, it's not like over here. Kind of doesn't know what it wants to do here. But you do have a slight ascending channel here. And what do I mean by channel? By channel, I mean, okay, take the bottom of this wick here, run up to the bottom over here, and you can say, okay, maybe this represents opportunity. There we go, just broke the green. So now where's it going to go? So now we're going to see if that's a confirmation. If this is going to be a confirmation, you're going to see volume. There you go. You're going to see volume increases, and you need the volume to go basically above these levels here in order for that trend to continue without significant selling pressure bringing it back down. And there it goes. So decent volume, not great volume, but decent volume. And again, your Dow is up 38 points, your NASDAQ is down 174, and the S&P is down 21. So there we go. Now we're hitting the VWAP. We're hitting the moving averages. So what does that say? Well, now let's go out to a bigger view. Let's just take the 1 hour and say, okay, where is our support and our resistance at? Okay. Again, we had this downtrend, so now we got this new channel forming, right? And this new channel, remember, even on a 1 hour, we're coming back to last week, the 28th on the bottom. So now we have really good support right here. At this 47,000 level, and then it dipped just a little bit below there, but it's still in a significant uptrend again. There we go. Now, this is momentum, folks. This is momentum. So if you would have bought on this signal right here, and this is what people do every day. Let's say you missed it right at this bottom, because this buy signal did not kick in until right about here. It had to break the top of this candle here in order for that buy signal to come in. So that means you probably would have bought in right here. You would already be up 0.24%. So not a lot, but again, it's a little. But you're talking about a asset that trades at $50,000 per one. But again, you can buy 0.2 of a Bitcoin. You can buy 0.01 of a Bitcoin. But you see what happens here on the lines? It hits the moving averages, doesn't break through them, and then stalls. But that's on the 30-second time frame. If you look at the 5-minute time frame, it's already well above it. So again, it depends on what your timelines are when you're looking at things. If you look at daily, it's way above it, right? So it says at some point is it going to come back down to here to this 24,000 level on a daily chart. Time will tell. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at some Tesla. Tesla is down again, 1.36%. You can do the same thing with Tesla that we just did there. As again, you see the indicators here. Probably dropped it right about here at the 680 level, and then it said, solid at the same level. So you probably would not have made really any money there if you followed those, because sometimes they can be super quick. So anytime you're looking at that, you really want to look at an indicator on a longer timeline. If you look at a 5-minute timeline, look, it hit the moving average, it told you to sell, and then it dropped down. But again, you got to look at volume, you got to look at the MACD, you got to look at the RSI indicators, all of that taken into consideration of whether you're actually purchasing or selling an asset. Okay, we've got 7:30, so at 7:30, basically we're an hour into the markets, and everything is red on the day. The Dow is down 21 points, NASDAQ taking a huge hit, down 215, almost 1.6%, which is big. And the S&P is down almost 1%, down 0.77%, down 30 points. So we're going to take a quick look at the averages here. Let's take a look at the S&P, again, S&P over here, down almost 0.8%. So the volatility has gone up. See if there's any breaking news. Nope, nothing since 3 minutes ago. Jobless aid, direct checks in place, U.S. Senate nears vote. Same news as before. Talking about payrolls. Overseas, there we go. All right. So let's take a look at some of our meme stocks really quick, and then we're going to get into the precious metals market and take a quick look at what's going on over there. So as far as our meme stocks go, we go back over to symbol, and let's take these in order. AMC is down 0.28, so down 3% on AMC to 866. Again, it closed on Friday at $8.01. So imagine that. It was down to the last 30 seconds that stock traded. And you have a lot of good news happening in AMC if you like the theater stocks. And this is probably why Cinemark is up 2%. You got the Marvel movies coming out this summer. More theaters are going to be opening. New York opened to 25% movie capacity over the weekend. Tom and Jerry had a pretty good move as far as that goes. And you can see parents wanting to get their kids out of their house, get them unchained from the desk sitting in the closet where they do their homeschool, and get them out socializing again and get them into theaters and start enjoying life again. So Cinemark taking a nice jump here. Huge rip up. Let's see here. Cinemark Holdings bound for slow recovery as customers shift to streaming. Demand remains uncertain post-COVID. Here's the thing, though. I was looking at other countries that were opening up as far as theaters go, and people are going back to the movies. And even though you have companies like Disney and Warner Brothers that are releasing movies to streaming, people are still not going to want to watch a movie and that sound experience unless they have a huge home theater setup in their house. They're going to want to go back to the theater, buy their $30 popcorn, buy their $5 overpriced candy, and enjoy the experience. And what AMC has done is AMC has improved a lot of their theaters. They've closed a few theaters that were non-performing, and they've also remodeled a whole bunch of theaters with reclining seats that had not gotten those over the last couple of years or so. So this is Cinemark. Cinemark having a very nice day in the market, up almost 3%. AMC down 17%, but participating. So when you're looking at, one second here. When you're looking at something like a theater stock and you say, okay, AMC trades like GameStop. Does it? It appears it does for the most part. But look who else is coming along for the ride. Cinemark. AMC. Those look a little familiar. GameStop. So what that tells you is this. Even though they're meme stocks and people are saying, Wall Street bets on Reddit, etc., the heavy-handed players in the markets, your mutual funds, your Cathie Woods for the ARK Investments, technology players, they're also looking at the competitors and they're doing serious due diligence and fundamental analysis on whether a stock or a company is a good reason to buy or not. So now you have GameStop ripping up to the upside here. Volatility is going down. The market's trying to come back. Dow is back in the green again. NASDAQ is still down 180 points. The S&P is still down 21 points. Dow is up 35 points. But you've got a nice little run here. AMC, Cinemark, Intel, Microsoft. What's our pharma doing? KMPH was up over 80%. It was up to $18.15. It's now down to $15.97. So if you bought that at the high, I'm sorry about that. If you would have been on the channel, you would have heard what I said about it. You would be down about 12% right now. So careful with some of those meme ones, those momentum ones. You may catch an initial buy, but then you got to be very careful because you could lose quite a bit of money really, really fast. Okay, Microsoft still down 386 on the day. Nvidia still down $14, 522 off of its bottom. I think 519. Yeah, it was at 518.08 on the day. So again, will it claw back to the VWAP and to the moving averages here? Most likely, it probably will at some point. If the market holds, it's whether the market will hold or not. I want to take a quick look and I want to see if there's any news on. No, there were a couple things I was looking at. Let's see here. So Dow's starting to come back a little bit, up 56 points. NASDAQ up 173, and the S&P is still, or I'm sorry, NASDAQ down 171, and the S&P is down 18. And let me go to news here. Nothing except yesterday. As far as new Commerce Secretary, Gina Raimondo confirmed as the Commerce Secretary. Other than that, no real super news on those. All right, so KMPH, we said we're going to look at that one again. Again, careful. If you bought it on the open, you're pretty much right back to where it was within 2 minutes on the open at this 1568 level. So you could see if it consolidates here. I don't know why I dragged that one to the bottom of that candle here. Okay. Decent support level forming. This 15 called 1575. Okay. So that's pretty good there. But again, you got to be careful. It'll probably, so its next run will take it back up to this 16 stage. But again, as soon as it hit that stage over here, boom, sell off. Bounce up a little bit. Your volume says that there's still more sellers than buyers. So again, be very careful. Be very careful with that stock. GameStop up 232, up almost 2%. AMC coming off of its bottom, only down 11 cents now. Cinemark, though, is up on the day. So Cinemark, I've been looking at it, and I do not own any right now because it's pretty close to its 52-week high of 27.85. But if you take a longer look at it and say, what has it done since the pandemic started? Where was it at before the pandemic? And that's kind of the level of where I'm looking at. So it was on a decline in 2019. I talked a little bit about this yesterday, but it was on a decline in late 2018, 2019. Then it got 2020. Then the pandemic hit, and then you can just have all this consolidation phase right here, and then a nice little uptrend as states start to open up again. Right? If you look at November, December, getting around the holidays, then in January we had some increases, and the theater chains started to open again. So again, Dow is up 62 points now, trying to come back. NASDAQ still down 165. The S&P still down 18 points. So looking at Cinemark or something like that, could be a decent play there going forward as the economy opens back up again. Let me go back to this daily again. Will it get back to your COVID levels, your prior COVID levels, or really going back to November? You're probably looking at upside in this range here initially, upside to 32. So if you're at 24.99 now, you're looking at a 28% potential increase to its old level of support. So if the old level of support prior to COVID on something like Cinemark was at $32 according to this line here, okay, call it $32.20. What that tells you is if they got back to levels of attendance at movies, if we get some blockbusters, if we get some Marvel films coming this summer, if they're released out into the theaters and all these theaters and these markets in these states are opening back up again, people are going to flow back into the theaters. They're going to go back because they want the experience. You can't sit there and tell me that everybody loves sitting at home with all the distractions of their phones and everything else to watch a movie. It is not the same experience. They're on their iPads, they're on their phones, the kids are running around, the dogs and cats are running around, the hamsters get out of the cage and they have to go chase those down. So they're going to want this experience of getting back into a theater. And if they get back into a theater, this is one of the companies they're going to go see. You're going to see Cinemark, you're going to see AMC as well. So those opportunities are going to be there. Okay. So AMC down 15 cents, GameStop up 2%, Ford still running down, oil up 83 cents a barrel, pulled back a little bit. U.S. oil is holding though, up a good 2.85% today. Look at his buyers. Look at this volume. Volume super good. And you see MACD convergence that crosses this line again. May start to head back down a little bit. You had a sell indicator up here, but let's say you participated in this. See the buy? Let's say you got it on this candle right here. And let's say you sold out on the next candle. You're up 1%. Right? $10,000, you're up $100. So definitely some opportunities in there. All right, so we're at 7:43. I want to go over and do a precious metals update. So let's go with silver. And silver is down 72 cents. And sorry, this is not silver. iShares Silver Trust, not real silver. They do not go out and buy silver, the physical asset, on your behalf inside of this trust. Spot price of silver. Spot price of silver down 89.90 cents, call it, down to 25.83. Platinum down $12 or 32, down $32 to 11.69. A little bit of move to the downside here. Palladium down as well. And let's see if there's any news on silver. What is this? Capitol Police attempt to attack U.S. Capitol by militia group. Yeah. Britain reviews surcharge on bank profits. U.S. crude stocks surge. Fuel stocks plunge in wake of Texas freeze. So no real news. Energy Secretary ready to loan $40 billion to boost clean energy. We need we don't need just personal opinion at this point. I don't know that we need $40 billion to boost clean energy when you have millions of people still out of work from the pandemic. I don't know if you need to give $40 billion of green energy when our economy is teetering on potential collapse of the markets. If you're looking at the bubble in housing, if you're looking at the bubble in the stock market, if you're looking at the bubble in low interest rates, if you're looking at the bubble in inflation, all those add up to, do we need to be putting $40 billion into clean energy right now? Long term, we do. But if we give that $40 billion to clean energy and the markets go like this and our energy sector goes like this and oil and gas goes like this, meaning prices go up or prices go down, you can see a lot of people in the energy sector out of work. And what some of them will say, like Granholm, is well, any offsets in oil production, those people will be able to get new jobs in clean energy. Well, not if the clean energy is solar and they do it in the Southwest, and these people live in South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming, etc., or Texas. They're not going to want to move and uproot their family, their entire family, their kids, their schools, if they're in school, all of that. So, something like this is good long term, but I don't think that that's the most important thing we need to be doing with $40 billion right now. Platinum, palladium, rhodium. Those are all precious metals stocks. A lot of those are used in the batteries. They're using catalytic converters. So there's definitely opportunity in there. And I don't think that these are going up right here this quick. And let's see what APMEX has available today to buy. Available products. So APMEX is a precious metals purchaser, or precious metals. And if you can see everything that, there's a 1 ounce silver bar, $32. So again, here's what I was talking about. If you're looking at silver and you're at $25.97 on silver on spot, so 25, call it 97, divided into a 1 ounce bar, $32.66, you are paying a 20% premium to purchase a hard asset. 20%. Okay. What that also means is if you were to sell, you are not going to get your silver at $25. 25 minus 20%. They're going to offer you $20 for it. Okay. This has been going on for decades. And they've been suppressing the price of silver for a very, very long time. 2021 American Eagle. BU, that stands for Brilliant Uncirculated. Okay, Brilliant Uncirculated. Market's coming back a little bit. We still have the Dow up 52 points, NASDAQ down 149, and the S&P down 19 points. So Brilliant Uncirculated, those are available. You won't have any, I don't see any proofs available. I don't see any bars over 1 ounce available. This is the First Strike MS70, but not a proof. So First Strike, they basically took a Brilliant Uncirculated, rated it as high as you can with an MS70, and slapped a $52 price tag on it. If you're willing to pay that, I'm not. Okay, let's go to the US Mint and see what they have available today to buy. Probably not much. Most of their stuff is probably, you look at their best sellers, you can buy right from the US Mint. They'll ship stuff out with the post office or UPS. Kristen McAuliffe proof, that releases later on this month, I believe. Where's it at here? Pre-order March 17th. So if you set a reminder, you can either pre-order it right now and you'll get, that means they still have some of these 350,000 available. This prints out of the Philadelphia Mint. So if you take a look at, nice looking coin. I think, there it is. So it does have a Philadelphia Mint mark as well. And so I already have one of these on pre-order. So I don't think I paid $79. I'm pretty sure I paid $73 for it. I would have to log into my account and see, but they'll mail that out to me. It'll be shipping on the 17th. Usually takes about a week or so before you get something from them. But that coin's available and is available. And you say, well, wait a minute. You just said silver is at $25, $26. I did. These are proofs. Proofs mean they're going to come in a pretty box. They're going to come with a certificate of authenticity, and they're mainly meant for collectors. Okay, but collectible items go up in value. So you know, you have that opportunity to get something like that. I don't see any silver from the mint side of things. They do law enforcement medals, things like that. I stick to the platinum coins. 1845. Wow. So that's is that up again? No, it's still. So 1645. The first one I bought of these was 1645 divided into 1845. They've already increased it 11% off of it. And let's say what's it going for right now? So this coin is the 2021, and this is part of a series. And again, also comes with the certificate of authenticity, a nice pretty box. But let's take a look at eBay. eBay Rover US Platinum 2021. Let's see here. Proof. There we go. Look at this. So somebody is selling it right now. Okay. 2021 platinum proof coin, 1 ounce, First Amendment, freedom of religion, in hand, $33.89. Answer me this question. If you wanted to own this coin, why would you do it for $33.89? When you can buy it, it's available right now from the US Mint for $18.45. Why would you pay this guy or this gal, this person, a 54% premium? Not me. Let's see here. Here's 1800. So this person here. Now here's the interesting thing. Same coin, right? An actual picture of the coin, certificate of authenticity. You say, well, this person's crazy. Why are they? You know, you can buy it now for $2,500. He's bidding it at $1,800. He may have bought this. See, on February 10th, this coin was $1,645 on the US Mint site. On February 10th. On February 11th, when the US Mint released the 2021 reverse heraldic Liberty proof coin of the silver dollar, this coin went from $1,645 to $1,695 the next day. Okay. Since then, it's gone up to $1,845. So, oops, 45 divided into $1,845. So it's already gone up. It's already gone up 11% since the day before they released the silver one. But if you go on eBay, see some other ones here. You know, here's a proof rated. Is that a 70? I can't tell. I think it's a 70. 1855. If they're going to be in the bot, you know, here's you know, sponsored items. Careful on eBay. Here's somebody selling the box, but without the coin. Crazy. Silver Eagle proof 79, 2018. If you have a chance, though, if you get a chance to purchase these. I'll tell you what the one to purchase, if you have an opportunity to, is this one right here. The American Eagle 2021 1 ounce silver proof coin. It comes out of the West Point Mint. The West Point Mint is the predominant mint of value for collectors. What that means is that if you get a West Point silver proof coin and you get a Philadelphia or a San Francisco proof coin issued later, the American Eagle out of the West Point Mint will bring you more dollars if you were to sell it as a perception of collector value as well. So this is going for $73. It was $74 at one point. Now it's back down to $73. I think I paid $73 for these. I'd have to look at my order, but these are going for $73. The remind me means that they don't have them in stock. They can't keep them in stock. On February 11th, this went out of stock in 8 minutes. So in 8 minutes, this entire coin was sold out. And then it opened up, I think that was on a Wednesday. It's the 11th on a Wednesday? Thursday. Or, nope, sorry, wrong month. It was a Thursday. So Thursday, February 11th is when this coin was released at noon Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Central. And within 8 minutes, they were completely sold out. Then on the 13th, I think it was Saturday morning, there was an email that I got after I woke up, and it was already sold out again. So what that meant was people that bought it on the 11th but couldn't pay for it, credit cards were declined. However they purchased it, they weren't able to. Back on the 13th, they had some more available. So what you can do is, if you want to still purchase this coin, this is why this is going to be of value. This is the last one. They have printed this design for 35 years. This is the very last edition. This particular coin, with the reverse image on it, Heraldic Eagle reverse tails design. This is the last time they're going to offer this coin. What does that mean? Well, that means that later on this summer, you're going to get this one. So sometime in the summer, they are going to release another American Eagle 2021 1 ounce silver proof coin with a caveat. Brand new design. Okay? Brand new design. So that means out of West Point, if you grab some of these and you grab some of the other ones, or you had the opportunity to grab some of the other ones, you could almost sell these in a tandem and get a higher premium. Potentially. Right? Don't do what I do, you'll lose all your money. Okay? But if you want to just buy something of value, you can go out and buy a brick, what I call a brick, from APMEX. But they don't even have anything available. If you look at, silver is down, but apparently there's no inventory. So if you take a look at silver by, silver by weight. And let's say you want to buy a silver bar. And let's say you want to buy 10 ounce silver bars. Watch this. You want to talk about a manipulated market. Okay. What did we say silver is at? 26.19? 26.19 right now. Okay. 26.19 an ounce. 10 ounce silver bar, pre-order, available March 11th, $324 for a 10 ounce bar. APMEX brand, which means this is the brand. This is a bullion dealer and a refiner. They refine silver, they slap their name on it, and they sell it at $32.40 an ounce. Okay. Pre-order, which means they have the silver, which means you can order it in a pre-sale. They'll have it for you. Everything else is out of stock. Anytime you see alert me on this site, you can't get it. Here's one, Academy. Again, same price though, $3.24, right? You know, new. The Royal Mint, UK. Log in for alerts. So you can sign in for alerts, and they'll, you know, $9.99 silver is what you want to buy if you're doing that. Okay. Now accepting Bitcoin. All right, so that's our precious metals update. We've gone over that for about the last half hour or so, and that will be at 7:30 Pacific or 9:30 Eastern time each day when the market is open. Looks like the market's climbed back pretty good here. The Dow is up 95 points. The S&P 500 is still down 11 points. NASDAQ is down 113, but they bounced off their highs. So if you look at the bottom of the chart here, which we kept open the whole time while we were over here looking at this other stuff, you had the volatility, the VIX, heading down south, which means the market heading back and climbing back, which is pretty good. Let's see if there's any other breaking news here. And then we'll take a look at... it's 11 o'clock Eastern, 11:02 Eastern. Seeing if there's anything else I'm missing here. Nope. Well, this is interesting. Okay. Mortgage applications rebounded last week as the country thawed out from a major blast of winter weather that delayed the start of the traditional spring home shopping season in states such as Texas. So the market composite index rose 0.5% on a seasonally adjusted basis for the week ended February 26th over the previous week. Mortgage applications had fallen 11% for the week ended February 19th. So the fact that it's up again is pretty good. Mortgage rates jumped last week on market expectations of stronger economic growth and higher inflation. Again, inflation goes up, mortgage rates goes up, stock market goes down. Okay, they're an inverse. Even if they pass this other stimulus. So the 30-year fixed rate had its largest single week increase in almost. A lot of people that believe the housing market is in a huge bubble. Personally, I've seen the value of my property go up significantly over the last year. Since the pandemic started, it's gone up quite a bit. So if mortgage rates increase, that basically means it's a greater barrier to first-time home buyers buying a house. If you have housing prices that increase like this over the last year, and you have mortgage rates that went like this, now you have mortgage rates going up, there's going to be a lag. So as the mortgage rates go up, the slide down on housing prices isn't going to be as great. They'll still come down, but not a whole lot. So this could be very interesting that's back up to 3.23%, which is the highest since July of 2020. So let's take a look at Rocket. Down 16% today on a comeback, but again, as the market is recovering a little bit today, that's why you have this coming back in, but still down on the day. You know, it peaked out at what, 39.47, so 34.89 divided into 39.47 equals -1. So it's down 12% off of its high today. So it was up 28%. It's had a 28% swing. So basically 34.73. Again, be careful with this one. It does look like it's got a good support level in this $33 range, call it $33.19. Resistance, it's coming up to that resistance right now, which is 35.46, but you're already, let's look at the 5-minute though for a reality check here. See, look what happened. Remember we drew this line here earlier? We said, hey, if it breaks, one side or the other was going to decide. It went down. Now it's coming back up. Will it come back up to this $38 limit? We'll see on that a little bit later on. So we've got about another 25 minutes or so of the show. Then we're going to take a break, and we'll be back at 1 o'clock Eastern time and 1:30. Yeah, at 1:30. So we'll be back at 1:30 Eastern time, and we're going to do another show for power hour, which is the last hour or so of the market. It'll be about an hour and 45 minutes that we'll be back on to finish out the day. So we got about another 30 minutes left here. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those into the chat. We'll be happy to answer them for you. Whether it has to do with a stock, an ETF, cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Ethereum, or precious metals, rhodium, palladium, platinum, silver, etc. We'll be happy to answer those. And thanks for tuning in. If you like what you're seeing, feel free to drop us a follow on Twitch or subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment as well on YouTube. It does help the algorithms and get this out. And hey, if you like what we're talking about here, and at least during the live sections of the show, we're going to have some teaching videos up as well, mostly on YouTube, but we will also have those saved as clips over on Twitch, which means that they won't disappear. The clips stay on forever. The shows disappear after 90 days, I think 60 days, 14 days or 60 days they disappear. There's an opportunity to go back and listen to some of this if you want to. I don't know why you would want, why would you want to listen to me talk about old stuff? All right. Okay, so Rocket, again, Rocket is up. Let's take a look at some of the other ones. Let's go with the change percentage here. And to the upside, KMPH, again, dropping off the cliff, right? Look at this. 30-second. So if you got in at the beginning of the day, you bought up here, look what happened. Right here. If it dropped below that, look out below. If it drops below that line was drawn earlier. That line was drawn about 40 minutes ago. And right before we started the precious metals update is where this came in. And you know, if I would have extended it out further, it broke this line. When it broke that line, it went down. This is not going to recover today. So if you made money on this stock, great, good for you. If you played the momentum, hopefully if you bought on the open, you immediately sold. Because if you didn't, you were at a loss, and you're at a lot bigger loss now. How far of a loss is it off of its peak? Well, let's say you hit this sell indicator, and let's say you got it even down here. %. Be careful with the momentum plays. Be careful on the news. There's things out there that say you buy on the rumor, you sell on the news. Once the news is out, initial run, and then it tanks. So that's what happened there. We saw the same thing with Rocket a little bit too. So Ethereum is still up, 1600 level. Bitcoin 50,000. Hey, if it holds us 51,000 and it forms this new support at 51,000, if this becomes the new bottom, we're not there yet. You know, the science of technical analysis says that 50,600 is the new level of support. Ethereum, again, we already talked about this. We said 1450, but it's got a new level at 1587 now. Oh, sorry, that was on the 30-second. My bad. You might be able to pick some up in the 1500s somewhere. So if it drops back down, you know, the science says, hey, it's going to drop back down to 1575 or so. But this is an ascending channel, right? Ascending, but it broke. So when it breaks over here, you see the different buys and sells over here. Still in a significant buy. Even on the 5-minute chart, that was hour and a half ago. It said to buy. If you would have done that, let's say you got it on the next candle and you held it, you're up almost 1%. If you were trading it, okay. Let's see. Meme stocks. GameStop up 327. AMC down 8-9 cents. Yeah, down 9 cents, 8 to 884. Not a big deal. That's okay. Cinemark still up 1%, or $1.04 up 4%. GME, GameStop, again up 3%, and Rocket is down 17%. So I hope you all made some money on that one. I did not participate in that one. I was doing other things when that thing peaked, and it was too late, and it didn't meet my risk profile. The markets are not necessarily about getting your gains. There's greater opportunities in learning how to limit your losses to as low as possible so that your gains exceed your losses. And so that's kind of the role of what to do. So as you can see over here, the S&P still down about 12 points, or about 0.32%. The VIX, that came back down, but still volatile to the tune of 3.4% negative sentiment since the market opened today. And that's why you have the Dow up 73, but the Nasdaq's down 107. The S&P is down a little over 11 points. Okay. All right, next up you have, let's see, Palantir. Palantir is up 2 cents. Go to 32nd again. Rocket. Tesla. U.S. oil. Nice jump. Up $1.14, 2.8%. And oil is up 173. So what that says is if oil per barrel is up 2.9% and U.S. oil is up 2.8%, we might have another little run here to the upside. Let's see. Let's go to the 5-minute. And we'll check this again at market close. But it's well above. Its resistance level is probably going to be about 41.10. Or support level, I'm sorry. It's new support level. If you take prior resistance, okay, where people start to sell up here, sell, will that become the new support level? So that's what you would look. So the next break, as it breaks to the downside here, if it drops down to this 41.10 area, what does it do after it hits the 41.10? So we'll come back to that one, but let's take a look at it. And I want to take that line right here to the top here. Oh yeah. Oops. About 41.9. And we drew it right. I want that candle. Close enough. All right. So we'll come back and look at that, and we'll see if it drops that line right before close. If I remember to come back into it, right? Okay. So Workhorse, you have Workhorse down. Oshkosh up. You know, again, the buzzer on Oshkosh and Workhorse is Workhorse to meet. There we go. Workhorse to meet U.S. Postal Service on Wednesday to discuss loss of delivery contract. Okay. Workhorse Group shares rose after it disclosed it will meet with U.S. Postal Service on Wednesday after the electric vehicle maker lost a multi-billion-dollar contract to Oshkosh Defense for making postal delivery vehicles last week. Do not buy Workhorse based on the fact that they're going to have a meeting with the post office. Don't do it. The decision has been made. They're going with Oshkosh. You're not going to get vehicles out of Workhorse from the post office. Face-to-face meeting on March 3rd, which is today. U.S. Post Office declined to comment. It's a $6 billion deal. Okay. Post Office has had a long time relationship with Oshkosh. We're not talking about the genes of Oshkosh B'gosh. They're not going to sacrifice those relationships and that history to go with a new company. Sorry, but they're not. And that's reflected in this. Peaked out at $42, all the way back down to $15 on the news that they're awarding the contract to Oshkosh. So, inversely, Oshkosh, steady rise. Which company would you rather be invested in? Longer term? I don't know. Workhorse still has some opportunity. We'll see if they recover. KMPH, again, if you were in that, I hope you're out of it at this point. And Rocket, same thing. Interesting stuff. All right, let's see here. Market took another turn. A little bit up. S&P's trying. S&P is trying. It's trying for a green day. It's down right about 10 points right now. NASDAQ is down 110. S&P is up almost 100.
Let's go.
Okay, US oil. There we go. So again, is this forming new? Is the old resistance now the new support? Looks that way initially. Could be wrong. Don't do what I do. You'll lose all your money. Guaranteed. Not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Let's see here. What else? Just in the global markets, shares from Asia to Europe retreated on Wednesday while the dollar rose and Wall Street opened down following disappointing U.S. employment data. Again, so do we need to be putting $40 billion into green energy when jobs are down? I think there's better uses of our money. All right. Ford turning down on the day, down 20 cents, down 19 cents. I have some of that in my retirement account. But that's offset by my US oil. So US oil is offsetting my Ford today. But Ford has been on a great run. If you look at the daily on this chart, it's had a fantastic rise back from the bottom back in March. You know, if you would have bought at the bottom here, or let's say you hit these resistance levels and bought up here, you know, you're sitting at bought at $7, and you've just about doubled your money since last June. So it has been a fantastic stock over that time frame. Okay, Cinemark still holding on to its gains, up 4.6%. AMC down a little bit, 11 cents. Go back to the 30-second interval. GameStop holding on to 3.7% gains, and our Palantir down 7 cents. Rocket Mortgage, again, increasing interest rates. Be careful here, folks. Don't buy all the hype about some hypothetical short squeeze on Rocket and they're going to send that thing to the moon, because I don't know that it's necessarily going to the moon. I could be wrong though. There's a meme out there, monsoon, right? A dangerous stock. All right, KMPH, the other one from earlier that we warned you about to not get into. Look at this, off the cliff. Now, off the cliff means this. I want to explain something here. Let's look at the 5-minute chart, and I want you to look at what happened. The jump wasn't until the pre-market because the news came out. News came out. They got a new ADHD drug. What's it called? Asterisk? Astaris. Asterisk. I think I had it right. I think Asterisk is the name. Okay. Approved by the FDA for ADHD. So this is the pre-market. So this is basically 4 o'clock in the morning East Coast time, 1 o'clock in the morning Pacific. Huge bump up in the pre-market. So if you didn't buy it there, if you bought it on the open, when most retail brokerages allow people to buy, or they don't have it approved in their accounts to buy pre-market or aftermarket, or they don't know that opportunity is available to them. They bought it up here to 17. Now they're down to 13. So if you bought it on the open, and it ran up, and you bought it here, congratulations, you're down 20%. So just be careful. Where will it go from here? Well, you'd have to really look at what was its old support and resistance levels. Look at my little line up here. What was its old support and resistance before all this happened? Well, you had the news about they were developing it. You had some bigger news over here. Peaked out at 22. Today's high was 18. It didn't even get up to the hype amount of 22. That should have been a warning right there. That if it comes out with this fantastic news and it's going to run up like it did, is it going to exceed? It basically bounced off of its old support level of the $14 range here, and then from there went south. They announced it went back up, but it basically didn't exceed where the old levels were. So because of that, it was basically, you could call it a failed breakout. But again, if you owned it prior to this, you're up 47%. Fantastic opportunity, fantastic buy, good stock. But right now, would I buy it? $13.99. The news is out. You buy in the rumor, you sell on the news. Okay. However, when there's blood in the streets, that's when you go all in. Not financial advice, but blood in the streets is what happened in March. And if you bought at that point, I think one of my best moves during that time frame was Boeing, and it bounced up quite nicely and recovered very, very well over the next few months after that initial drop. So KMPH, careful on that one. Nvidia still, down $11, but off of its bottom of 518. Yeah, it got down to 518 today, and then bounced back up to 525. In a little bit of an uptrend, but again, the overall market is down. The Dow is up $149, so you get some good stuff there. The Nasdaq is climbing back; it's down 79 points. The S&P 500 is only down 2 points. So we'll see what happens a little bit later on today. We're getting into the lunch hour on the East Coast, so it's 11:25 on the East Coast. So everybody in New York is getting ready to go to lunch. So we're going to end this stream in about 5 minutes or so, and we'll do a quick recap. So again, some of the ones we looked at today, just to recap, we looked at Rocket Mortgage, and they were on the news. But again, you have increasing interest rates on mortgage rates are up to their highest levels since last year. So that could portend or foretell that Rocket may not get a lot of that going on. Again, they're going to, in the new stimulus bill and everything else, they're going to extend the moratoriums on evictions, as well as allowing people to continue to have forbearance on their mortgages. So everything that you're talking about with the housing market is delayed until those moratoriums end. And those can sometimes be state and state specific, because the private lenders will have to go by state guidelines. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, agriculture, and VA loans all go under federal moratoriums, so they can't kick people out unless there's certain circumstances. Again, we looked at Tesla a little bit as well. They're bouncing up a little bit today, $5.30. This is basically based off of an Elon Musk tweet about completely autonomous vehicles sometime this quarter. But he kind of said, but we'll wait and see and see what happens here. But that was good. U.S. oil, we looked at that one again. As oil itself per barrel gets up to 61.13. U.S. oil bounced up a little bit too. We looked at our crypto stocks, Bitcoin, nice rise there. Ethereum, again, another nice one there. U.S. oil, looking good. Again, is this the new resistance, right? So if we, the new support. If we had resistance, pretty good here at this $41 level. That's pretty good if we stay above here and we close above these lines today, because these lines will move up tomorrow then. So we could have a new support level at 4107-ish. Let me look. Hold on a second here. The pivot point is $40.40, somewhere around there. But I think we're blowing through that. So that'll be a new pivot tomorrow. So again, we'll see what happens on this later on today. We got just a couple more minutes here. And I want to thank you all for joining me today. Again, we're going to be back in a couple hours. So right around 2:30 Eastern Time, 11:30 Pacific, 1:30 Central. We'll be back for the Market Close program, and we'll cover some of the same things. We're going to start the Market Close program with a look at what the markets are doing. Okay, after lunch, Power Hour. Last hour of the market is called Power Hour. In case you didn't know, we'll take a look at cryptocurrencies. We're going to take a look at precious metals, see if there's any changes. Look at any other breaking news on the day. Did the U.S. Senate come out and do something? And go ahead and take a look at where we end for the day. So thank you all very, very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you like the stream, do me a favor. Hit the follow button on Twitch. Hit the subscribe button over there on the YouTube. If you really want to help me out with the algorithms, you can drop a comment in the stream below. And if you have any questions about different content, different things you want to see, drop those comments in there as well. I will reply to them as best I can, and I will promise to cover them as well. So finally, last part of it, we got the S&P heading up. The VIX is continuing to head down. So what that means, and we'll check this in another 3 hours or so when I come back. So 3 hours from now, we'll be back on. But what this means is the day is trying to turn. But it's getting into lunchtime on the East Coast. Volume levels go down at that time, in that time frame, and then so unless some other news breaks during that time frame, it's kind of a slow area, and you see a lot of consolidation during that time frame. You're already starting to see it now. So with that, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back in 3 hours for the Power Hour. We'll call it the Power Hour and a half because it's going to be an hour and a half of streaming. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. And we'll see you next time. And we'll see you next time.